Title race is heating up, and this fixture will surely be a classic. The defending champions Kaya FC Iloilo takes on One Taguig FC in the hopes of positioning themselves well to keep their hands on the title. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rizal Memorial Stadium. My name is Jamer de la Cruz alongside Diego Cordero. And
3 points, and you take 3 points away from your direct rival. So
AFC Iloilo, all eyes on Marcus Haber. And we have kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, in this Saturday main event between Kaya FC Iloilo and One Taguig FC. The Daisuke Sato who wins the ball for One Taguig. Hiraishi with the cross. Header in. Haber inches away from the goal. Agyemang missing that pass. Freeing up Kaya up front right away, and a foul is called
for that tournament, and a lot more football action for Filipino fans.
Back to live action we go as Mike Ott with a cross. A header, and well met by Milos Kupic, who raises his hands in jubilation. And Mike Ott with the delivery to the back post. That's going to be a corner for Kaya. I think this is the first one for Kaya FC Iloilo. Moving forward as well for One Taguig. The team captain being covered by Eso. Cross, looking for Hartman with a first-time strike. Oh! Saved by Dato. Haber pleading his case that it might have crossed the line, but Dato says no. On for One Taguig. Kiki looks up, sends the cross in. Haber chests it down. Nobody there to get that back heel pass.
Actually, the highest scoring in the whole PFL. They have 24 goals from their midfield. So could definitely do with one tonight.
Aerial battle for the ball here between Kaya and One Taguig. One Taguig emerges as the victor as Olibias free on the right side, looking for the cross. Dato flips, and it's a goal for One Taguig, but nope. Yes, it is. Referee confirms it. And One Taguig again on the first half, having that lead over Kaya.
Well, Patrick Dato is the last player you'd expect to make a mistake like that, but that all came from the fact that Oli Bias, the right wing back of One Taguig, was afforded acres of space down that right-hand side. Shuto Komaki is late to track him, and Odi Menzi is tucked inside narrow because of his tendency as a center back. So that just gave so much room for Oli Bias. The cross should have been claimed by Dato. It wasn't, and Agyemang reacts the fastest.
For Haber on the left side. Now with the cross, finding Bias, brings it to the middle. Hartman saved this time, but Mark Hartman in the middle of the field, being given plenty of space to take a shot. And that was well met by Patrick Dato. As Hiraishi looking for that opening. Omai saw with the cross, looking for Reichelt on the far post.
They've been so dynamic, and it's been hard to defend for Kaya FC Iloilo. At the moment, Sato is winning that captain duel.
There goes down for Kaya. I think that's Yamazaki. They're asking for a foul here on Agyemang. He gets a yellow card. That is his second yellow card in the game. There's the corner. Almost getting into action and the One Taguig crowd came alive. Ott unable to shoot. Menzi finding Lucas on the right. Sato with a clearance. Aldeguer with a cleanup.
Anywhere will do at the moment for One Taguig. It's all hands on deck.
Yamazaki sending a long ball forward. Malumanzoko chested down. Mailback with a strike, but not able to find the right side of his boots. Foul called, and Mark Hartman will juggle the ball out, and One Taguig FC makes it 2 wins to 2 against the defending champions, Kaya FC Iloilo.
Well, it's been a performance that has showed so many different layers to their game. One Taguig, they were able to dominate possession.
Stallion Laguna in their first round encounter. That is why we are bringing you their second one right here. Match number 88 in your Philippines Football League 2025-26 season. We are coming to you from the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila. Claro Manzano here alongside Jing Hamlang, and you're catching this one on our social media pages. Let's take a look at the starting 11 once more of Kaya FC Iloilo. The officials, led by referee Militon Pelayo. And on the other side, as expected, it is also the 4-3-3 for Coach Ernie Nieras with Yusuf Butt.
That midfield battle going to be absolutely key for them as well. It's going to be very interesting to see how Usman Baji copes with this particular game.
Because Aguilas UMAC did seal a massive victory over Toloy FC. And it is a long ball quickly. Ricky Sendra. There's the Americas connection. It's almost a close one here, though.
He's also got the challenge of distribution, and look at this ball to Trujillo.
It is successful now to Juan. Tries to shake and bake against Casambre. Takes it with his right, and Tato tapped it over. The work rate from Vasquez. Double the trouble because there's also another Vasquez brother who is on the bench. Zambrano knocks this one. Flag stays down. Mirbach, the keeper to beat. Sends this one over the bar. Caliana Trujillo sends this. Headed to the center. Flag is raised from our assistant referee. Tough to tell.
I don't think so, but you could argue that there is. They did have their chances.
Melisa into the dangerous area. Patrick Ling. Oof, somehow it's a stop.
I know what the situation was for the goalkeeper as he made that save.
It's with Mirbach. Del Rosario the touch. And somehow Yusuf Butt taps it wide.
Latched on with a bit more power. And you can see it's a bit of an even game.
In Asia. Zambrano flicked it back. Yamazaki. Zambrano returned. Meg Belgira. He will push. Del Rosario took a touch.
Ooh.
Took a fall.
It's a
referee Militon Pelayo says penalty.
It's a penalty.
Gaku in disbelief. Will he get this goal? There is Yusuf, but to beat. Takes it and makes it. First blood, Kaya FC Iloilo. Will this be enough? We are going to find out.
It's a great finish. Hard and low into the bottom corner. But got a touch to it. And he's going to be very disappointed he's unable to keep that out. But what a crucial goal. This equalizer, they're going to be more and more open.
Looks like they shifted also to a back three. Here's Hoatam. A foot race, but it's skied. Less than 2 minutes now. Till stoppage time. Here's the header. And Tato spills this one.
Oh, wow.
An equalizer. It's Usman Baji. And with the way he's been locked in this game, on defense, influencing the game on offense, he gets that one.
Wow.
That's big from him. Caliana Trujillo and Jason Pepito, who are substitutes, are exchanging words.
At first, the goal, a header, did not pack a punch. And it looked like it was supposed to be safely in the hands there of Patrick Dato. And it slipped through. Finn McDaniel threw the ball. Let's have a look at it here.
Off the head of Baji, Dato secured. That's gotta hurt, of course.
Through his arms and through his legs to end up in the back of the net. And he's had a spectacular game today, just very secure. You can see his reaction, he can't believe it. A upon this celebration here, they're running over to their bench. Finn McDaniel throws the ball at the bench of Kaya. And that's the reason why everybody is up in arms here. They feel disrespected.
Just gave it to Malumad Soko. But that is the full-time whistle. It ends 1-1.
A great game here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium to cap off our Sunday doubleheader, Claro. Both sets of players disappointed in the end that they did not get maximum points. But what drama, what entertainment here.
Title race is heating up, and this fixture will surely be a classic. The defending champions Kaya FC Iloilo takes on One Taguig FC in the hopes of positioning themselves well to keep their hands on the title. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Rizal Memorial Stadium. My name is Jamer de la Cruz alongside Diego Cordero. And
3 points and you take 3 points away from your direct rival. So
FC Iloilo, all eyes on Marcus Haber. And we have kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, in this Saturday main event between Kaya FC Iloilo and One Taguig FC. The Daisuke Sato who wins the ball for One Taguig. Hiraishi with the cross. Header in. Haber inches away from the goal. Agyemang missing that pass. Freeing up Kaya up front right away, and a foul is called.
for that tournament and a lot more football action for Filipino fans.
Back to live action we go as Mike Ott with a cross. A header and well met by Milos Kupic, who raises his hands in jubilation. And Mike Ott with the delivery to the back post. That's going to be a corner for Kaya. I think this is the first one for Kaya FC Iloilo. Moving forward as well for One Taguig. The team captain being covered by Eso. Cross, looking for Hartman with a first-time strike. Oh! Saved by Dato. Haber pleading his case that it might have crossed the line, but Dato says no. On for One Taguig. Kiki looks up, sends the cross in. Haber chests it down. Nobody there to get that back heel pass.
Actually, the highest scoring in the whole PFL. They have 24 goals from their midfield. So could definitely do with one tonight.
Aerial battle for the ball here between Kaya and One Taguig. One Taguig emerges as the victor as Olibias free on the right side, looking for the cross. Dato flips, and it's a goal for One Taguig, but nope. Yes, it is. Referee confirms it. And One Taguig again on the first half, having that lead over Kaya.
Well, Patrick Dato is the last player you'd expect to make a mistake like that, but that all came from the fact that Olibias, the right wing back of One Taguig, was afforded acres of space down that right-hand side. Shuto Komaki is late to track him, and Odi Menzi is tucked inside narrow because of his tendency as a center back. So that just gave so much room for Olibias. The cross should have been claimed by Dato. It wasn't. And Agyemang reacts the fastest.
For Haber on the left side. Now with the cross, finding Bias, brings it to the middle. Hartman saved this time, but Mark Hartman in the middle of the field, being given plenty of space to take a shot. And that was well met by Patrick Dato. As Hiraishi looking for that opening. Omai saw with the cross, looking for Reichelt on the far post.
They've been so dynamic, and it's been hard to defend for Kaya FC Iloilo. At the moment, Sato is winning that captain duel.
There goes down for Kaya. I think that's Yamazaki. They're asking for a foul here on Agyemang. He gets a yellow card. That is his second yellow card in the game. There's the corner. Almost getting into action and the One Taguig crowd came alive. Ott unable to shoot. Menzi Finding Lucas on the right. Sato with the clearance. Aldeguer with the cleanup.
Anywhere will do at the moment for One Taguig. It's all hands on deck.
Yamazaki sending a long ball forward. Malumanzoko chested down. Mailback with a strike, but not able to find the right side of his boots. Foul called. And Mark Hartman will juggle the ball out. And One Taguig FC Wednesday night main event is upon us, and we have a pivotal match that could shake things up in the title race. It's One Taguig FC going up against Stallion Laguna FC in this fixture tonight here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Jamer De La Cruz on call with Diego. Brother, this is going to be an exciting one. Top of the table, One Taguig FC versus Stallion Laguna FC, who's
Between two heavyweights in the PFL, two of the biggest clubs around the country. So whenever there's a clash between clubs of that stature, it's always going to be an exciting fixture ahead of us. And yeah, you mentioned it. It's going to have implications on both the title race, the top 6 race. But in general, it's going to be a really good game because these are two teams with real quality players.
We look into the standings so far, Diego. One Taguig FC with 36 points at the top of the standings, but they still have 3 games at hand against the defending champions Kaya FC Iloilo on 34. Meanwhile, you see Stallion Laguna FC just 5 points adrift from 7th place Maharlika FC. If there's a game that Stallion Laguna would be looking for maximum points for, this should be the game, because for one, they're just flirting that 7th place, 5 points adrift of Maharlika, and 2, what better way to do that against the top team in the league?
A chance for both of these teams to make a statement that would send waves across the league. One Taguig, again, vying for that title. Mathematically, the best placed team in the whole league. Meanwhile, Stallion, on the other hand, above Maharlika, they're in that top 6. It's quite safe because they have 2 games also over Maharlika, but they want to be higher up than that Stallion. They're a team that will always feel they should be challenging for the title instead of trying to just be a part of that championship round. They have a chance actually to propel themselves into a better position this evening.
Well, we have a chance to look into One Taguig FC in their recent match. It's a 13-0 win over Tuloy FC, a masterclass from One Taguig FC. Patrick Reichel scored 5 goals in that game, and Andres Aldeguer as well as Mark Hartman had a brace for themselves. They also had goals from Naoto Hiraishi, Goldson, Daisuke Sato, and Hamed Hajimadi. Almost most of the players in the starting lineups have had a fair share of goals in that game.
Yeah, you know, they showed their depth and quality, and overall, they just flexed their muscles against Tuloy FC. But against a team of similar stature to Kaya, or to Stallion, they beat Kaya a few weeks ago. In fact, One Taguig all of their big games except for that hiccup against Manila in match day 3. But other than that, they've been so good this season. They've won so many games against teams that you thought would have given them a challenge, and that's why they are on top of the table.
You look into the starting lineups for One Taguig FC, you have plenty of players to look out for. Patrick Reichel, who scored 5 goals in the last game, is in the starting lineups up front as well for Coach Arvin J. Suleiman. You have Isaac Aguiemang, who scored that lone goal against Kaya FC Iloilo. You have Hartman, who's been the provider of goals for One Taguig FC, and Stefan Schrock as well, who's been that midfield general for them. But if there's one player that you would like to see more out of, who's that going to be?
I think we were speaking off air beforehand, but we're going to try and watch what Pete Forrestwell does this evening. Starting as a center back alongside Stephen Hom. It's a center back duo that is full of quality, but it's not a center back duo that has played all times this season, so it's going to be interesting to see how Forrestwell slots in. However, he is a player that has so much experience in the PFL and so much quality. I'm going to be excited to see what he can do up against a really electric front line from Stallion.
Well, Pete Forrestwell is one player that we're going to look out for in terms of defense. He's been the key for them, but let's listen in as well, or let's look into Pete Forrestwell more in this game. you've had him pocket Julius Mirabak, their clash against the defending champions. One of the players that we're looking out for who can score goals for KFC Iloilo, but throughout 90 minutes or his assignment for KFC Iloilo, Pete Forasuelo had him in the pocket.
Yeah, he's not the tallest defender, but in terms of being a defender with good positioning, good acceleration, and overall just placing himself in positions where he can defend, he is a really top defender. Again, so much experience already in the PFL. He's been playing across so many different clubs in the Philippines, and he's now with One Taguig, and he's been given the trust this evening by Coach Soliman to try and do a job against one of the other better teams in the PFL.
Well, that's what we have for Coach Arvin J. Suleiman and his side. Let's listen in to One Taguig FC for more things that they want to get from this game.
Okay, expectation for today's match. We know that Stallions Laguna nagdraw sila against Kaya last game. So I think today's match they are very eager to get the 3 points. No? But of course, we're not going to drop points for today's game, and we will do our best to get the 3 points against this club. The team prepared well, but of course hindi natin maiwasan, no? Some players have injuries, so for now we're going to sit those players, no? But I think yung mga players coming from the bench, mas mag-excel sila for today's match.
Squad rotation is the key for Coach Arvin J. Suleiman in One Taguig FC, who is confident that they would get maximum points in Laguna. Meanwhile, we head into the other side, the sixth place team so far in the tournament, Stallion Laguna FC. That draw against Kaya FC Iloilo is a huge one for Coach Ernieras and his side. Why? Because they were able to take points away from the defending champions. They were once fighting at the top of the table for that title, but this time around they're just flirting that 6th and 7th place.
Yeah, you know, that was a confidence boosting draw against Kaya. You know, they got that equalizer in the dying moments of the game, but they're actually undefeated in their last 5 games, and that includes actually a win over Aguilas and a draw, as we mentioned, to Kaya, as well as a draw to Maharlika, where they also equalized very late on. So it's a more confident Stallion when you compare to their performances earlier on in the season. We see here their starting lineup. There's an obvious omission. There's no Finn McDaniel, but it's still a squad that has a lot of firepower, still very talented, still very technically gifted, and yeah, it's still going to be a very tough match for One Taguig.
Coach Ernie will be missing his top goal scorer here in Finn McDaniel, but there's somebody who's stepping up plate for Stallion Laguna FC, and that guy is the one guy that we're looking out for, which is Juan Diego Galeana Trujillo. We usually see him on the wings for Stallion Laguna FC, but this time around he's going to be that tip of the spear for Coach Ernieras. What do you make up of that position for Galeana?
Yeah, well, it's an obvious shift. Not used to play as the winger. You know, he has 10 assists this season. Tonight, he has to become the goal scorer rather than the provider. What I can say is, though, he is a very tricky player to deal with in terms of technical ability, in terms of pace. Very, very good with the ball in his feet. Very shifty, very agile, and, you know, you have to keep a close eye on him, even if he is out of position, because he just has that talent.
Well, Galeana has that dribbling skills in himself, has been a provider for Finn McDaniel, but this time around he has to step up. But let's listen in to Coach Ernieras on what they want to take away from this game against One Taguig.
Honestly, it's disappointing because it was not the teams that determined the match. It was the referees. Okay, the calls were really questionable, and you know we have to really improve. Here we have the teams really doing what they can do, but then our officiating has to also improve when it comes to the quality of the game. You know, both the teams are playing for something. We're playing hard, and then you know there's no room to make such mistakes. But that's something that we have to learn from and adjust. But you know, it's affecting us a lot. You know, we have all these close games that we play, and then you know it's not helping that these things happen. But I know it's a part of the game. I know we cannot do anything about it, but you know, referees have to improve. You know, it's the quality of officiating has to improve, and you can see better results in the games. And you know, it shouldn't be to a point where you know the match is influenced not by the players, but also the referees. So that's something that is important that we have to look into and see how we can help the referees and the players understand the match better, and especially the rules and regulations. But tactic-wise, we're not changing what we're doing. We have to make some adjustments because of suspensions. But basically, we have to do what we have to do to win today.
No room for mistakes, says Coach Ernie Lleras from Stallion Laguna FC in that interview. We look into the starting lineups once again of One Taguig FC. You have Milos Kupic in between the sticks once again. The ever-trusted goalkeeper of One Taguig FC. You have Andres Aldeguer up front alongside Patrick Reichelt and Isaac Aguiemang. We do have a huge battle here at stake for Stallion Laguna FC. This is the time that they don't want to slip up in the league. If they will get maximum points, they should, because they're just flirting that drop to 7th spot, and they're also gunning for that title in the Philippines Football League. We have referee Chris Margnañola to watch the action in the middle of the field, assisted by Paul Galicia and Ryan Flores. Our fourth official is Chris Mel Cayabyab, and our match commissioner is Mark Ian Baldo. One Taguig FC and Stallion Laguna FC for the first time in the season of being in the second round. How excited are you for this matchup, Diego?
So excited. I'm so excited for this one. Massive clash between these two teams. A chance to send a real statement from either side. For One Taguig, can they keep up this incredible form, or for Stallion, can they propel themselves back into that top 4 area of the table? It's really hard to say because teams have played different amounts of games, but nevertheless, Stallion, want to propel yourselves back to where you think you belong, you have to get a statement victory tonight. I'm so excited for this. You have deep benches, so much possibilities for this match. And again, Jamer, you said it perfectly. It's the first time we're seeing it this season. That's why there's that extra little bit of excitement from my end.
A trusted starting 11 for Coach Ernie Lleras. You have Yusuf Butt up on the goalkeeper side, Isa Gaku up front, who will be pairing up with Juan Diego Galeana Trujillo. Huichi Belguira will be the provider for them as well. And at the back, you have Abe Placito and Osman Baji to help things out, as well as Ken Pride. Patrick Link completes the starting 11 alongside Jose Magsen Becerra Dorado. And we are in for a huge battle here. It's One Taguig FC against Stallion Laguna FC.
Expecting the first maybe 5 or even 10, maybe even 15 minutes to be pure chaos, pure adrenaline-filled rush. You want to make a statement, you want to make a good start, and you want to, stamp your control on the game very early on. So both of these sides are for sure going to go at it right from the get-go.
And we are underway here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium for the meeting between Taguig FC and Stallion Laguna FC. Right away, they're looking for that attack, but Yusuf Butt with the trusty hands will roll that up. They're looking for that attack, but Yusuf Butt with the trusty hands, will roll that out for Aaron Varn, threading the left side of the field, covered well by Mahmoud Ali. Good interception, but there's a foul called on Galeana. Small in size, but huge in physicality. That's what happened between Galeana and Steven Alm. As I think they were former teammates, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I have to check that.
I think they are former teammates, but there's already proof that Galeana is not going to allow this change of position, this new role to affect his attitude tonight. You can see right away he's trying to press, he's trying to be intense, he's trying to make sure that Halm and Forzuelo know he's going to press them all night. He's not going to be an easy opponent to deal with. And yeah, that's despite the fact that he's obviously not an out-and-out striker. They have to do some adjusting. There's no Finn McDaniel because of a red card he picked up. Nonetheless, it's a player with so much quality, so you have to keep such a close eye on him.
Well, Galeana's no stranger to the striker position. He's been there before the exploits of Finn McDaniel with Stallion Laguna FC. As a matter of fact, they've been striking partners, if I'm not mistaken, in the past. And we'll see if he's still for the role as they get themselves a free kick. Aaron Vasquez will stop the play for Stallion Laguna FC. And they restart with the number 95, Usman Baji, at the back.
And what a signing he has been. You know, if you take away the fact that he's massive, he's so athletic and strong, he's really good on the ball. He has an excellent switch of play, which we'll see here. Commentators curse, but he can usually pull those off. He's a really technically gifted player, and he's going to have to do some defending here. Does it just about. A really good signing from him. Formerly part second division in France. That's how high he reached footballing.
Baji almost conceding a goal-scoring chance there, but luckily for him, the back line post as forward for Stallion Laguna. Quichi Balgira exchanging passes with him, with the cross, looking for Galeana, but good coverage from Pete Forzuelo, who we picked out as the player of the match because he's been that steady figure, that anchor at the back for One Taguig FC.
Yeah, he's going to have a different test tonight against Galeana. Also watch out for Placito, who's going to try to drive forward from midfield. Actually started at center back against Kaya, but has been put back into midfield for this specific reason. Get on aerial crosses, and Macmillan is going to go for this long throw with Placito as a target.
Macmillan with a long throw, looking for Abe Placito, headed away for another throw in. That was So Omai, who was covering Placito.
Medyo mismatch, you know, pero this time it's going to be Steven Halm who's closer to Placito, it looks like.
Another opportunity headed back by Placito, asking for handball, but nothing's given.
I don't think there was anything in the proximity of that. Steven Halm didn't know much about it, and his hand did look to be in a natural position as well.
Millen with the throw, looking for Placito down that right flank. He's being covered by two shirts, and we will have our first corner of the game.
And this is where one of the areas that Stallion have improved this transfer window. So against teams in the first round, they would exploit their lack of height. You know, there were games where they would just concede set pieces, in particular late set pieces, but they've added back Placito, aerial target. They've added Baji, aerial target. They've added Gaku, who's an aerial target. So this is a very tall team, and Steven Halm, Aguiemang, Aldeguer, Hartman, they're going to have to be careful with this Stallion height.
So Galeana to take this corner, an out swinger towards the back post, headed away by Reichelt. Another pressure coming on from Ken Pride. A shot from Dorado, but that's not going to bother Kupic anytime soon.
Ken Pride, they're getting involved. Didn't play as a center back in the last game, but he's actually, according to Transfermarkt at least, the play will be putting into him for the rest of the season and for match. And by the way, it is Coach Ernier's last coaching season for Stallion, so what more motivation could you want if you're part of that Laguna-based squad to help Coach Ernieras have a good send-off?
For many years, I've talked to Coach Ernieras about that hunger to win the Philippines Football League. They've been flirting with that top 4 spots before. They've came close, I think, in the 24-25 season. Just finishing third, I think, in that season. And this time around, they're quite away from it. But with the championship round coming around the corner for them, there's still plenty of chances for them to get that elusive silverware. In the meantime, A. Placito found himself amongst the white shirts. He will get another corner for Stallion Laguna FC.
Good early pressure from Stallion, so they've had a couple set pieces now, a couple chances to test the defensive strength of their opponents. No Frank Akoto for Taguig, who was one of their best center backs this season. Let's see if Stallion can try and take advantage of this.
Deliana with the delivery into the middle, headed away by One Taguig. Quichi Belgira with a shot. Ken Pride turning and shooting, but it's been cleared out. Counter-attack time for One Taguig FC. Stefan Schrock looking for that pass to the other side for Hartman, but it's not going to get there on time.
Well, Mark Hartman is a really good player, but pace isn't currently what his best asset is. But that was a real shame because it was a good counter-attacking chance for One Taguig. Stallion are let off with it.
Aldeguer wins the ball back from Isagaku. Stephen Holmes spreads it out wide. One Taguig have been the recipient of plenty of chances from Stallion Laguna FC. Taking a back seat, I suppose, and just trying to figure out how Stallion Laguna will fare out for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, so Stallion Laguna, they're going to play a 4-3-3 system. That's the formation they've played across all their games so far this season. One Taguig are going to go with this 4-2-3-1, but One Taguig have shifted formation so many times this season. They adjust to their opponents. So it's going to be interesting to see which coach gets the tactical upper hand this evening.
Placito has been freed up on the right side. Former teammates in Ham and Placito. And Stephen Ham wins the ball for a throw.
Always interesting when a player is up against his former club, especially when he recently played for them. But Stephen, he has been so good this season. He's been part of a defense that's been so good. The best defense in the league, actually, only conceding 2.
Counter-attack. Aldeguer couldn't get that through as Aaron Vasquez was there to cover. Ken Pride takes the ball away for Stallion Laguna FC. Things are opening up in the first 10 minutes now, Diego.
Yeah, and as we said before the game started, it's the first time these two sides are playing each other, and that's why there's a little bit of that figuring out stage where things are a bit wild and chaotic. But the midfield battle, it's already happening a few times. It's looking like it's going to be a really feisty one tonight, Jamer.
Pete Forasuelo takes it all the way back to Milos Kupic, who's getting some pressure from Galeana. He's not going to be bothered. Isagaku heads it out. Stephen Hom sends it forward, looking for Schrock. Macmillan is there to gather the ball.
Schrock versus Macmillan, that's going to be a really good battle. You have player here, countless national team caps versus an under-23 Philippine international. Here it is now.
Schrock with the cross, looking for Reichelt, former teammates in the national team setting. Reichelt still inside the box. Schrock looking for that ball against Macmillan, and he wins that ball. Schrock with the cross, Aldeguer with a header. Yusuf Butt says no entry.
Promising moments now for One Taguig. You see Reichelt.
Yusuf Butt says no entry.
Promising moments now for One Taguig. You see Reichelt. He is so much smaller than Badji, but he's able to be clever enough to position himself between him and the ball. So it makes it so that the only way you can stop him is to get your hands all over him. And that's risky also because he can win penalties.
Took me down memory lane there, Diego. I was sitting right there on the other side of the Rizal Memorial Stadium when that happened.
Oh, here's that switch of play, Jamer.
On ball forward, looking for Belgira. Almost overcooked, but Belgira keeps it in play, brings it back to Macmillan, who's now shaping up for the cross. Stephen Hom gets the ball away. Omaiso against Macmillan, who will clear this ball out now. And that touch from Agyemang will put it out for a throw.
Well, Galeana's not the only player somewhat out of position tonight because Koichi Belgira is going to have to do a job also as a right winger. Interesting to see how a fullback can slot in there. But he is up against Aoki as well, who may present some opportunities to get forward for Belgier because Aoki does also like to get forward, and that might leave some space for Belgier. So it's an interesting chess match that's currently going on between Coach Ernie and Coach Soliman. By the way, it's actually Coach Neil Mountney who is taking the touchline for Stallion. He's been taking the touchline for the past few games, also a top coach.
Long ball forward. But too much for Reichelt to chase. And you could hear the successor to the throne of Coach Ernie Lleras, Coach Mountney. Vocal as well, just like Coach Ernie in his coaching days with Stallion Laguna FC.
I actually watched one of the games that Stallion played. I think it was against Aguilas when they won 2-0. I sat right behind Coach Neil Mountney, and some of the tactical instructions he brings out, very, very, very clever, and a very good addition to that coaching staff for Stallion. He's been with them for quite a while now, but he's now taking the touchline.
So Stallion Laguna with Usman Baji finding the team captain Placito, stays on his feet. And able to find the next pass, threading the ball towards the middle for Patrick Ling. Onto the other side for Belgira. Covered by two players in white. Patience to build up the play for Stallion Laguna FC. Belgira once again forced to take it back to Macmillan.
One Taguig not afraid to sit in a deep block. They can defend really well there.
Ken Pride looking for a diagonal ball for Aaron Vasquez, who was able to get it. Dorado looking for the short cross. Gathered well by One Taguig, and now they're cleared out. Good header towards Placito from Usman Baji. Placito on the turn, giving it to the middle for Patrick Ling, who takes a shot. Good block as well from Omaiso. And now a counter-attack might be on for Stefan Schrock and One Taguig FC. Good pass to Agyemang on the left against Isa, or Usman Baji rather. And he's going to run out of space, so it's going to be a goal kick for Yusuf Bud.
Well, the blueprint from One Taguig has been set out pretty early. They're willing to defend deep and attack in transition. Space in behind will be offered because Stallion are trying to pour more bodies forward.
Placito couldn't get the 1-2 for Dorado. Now he gets that overlap on the left side. Dorado against Forazuelo. Still with Dorado. With the cross, with the block as well for One Taguig. Koichi Belgira looking for the turn and the shot, but unable to do so. Stefan Schrock moving forward for One Taguig. Finds that pocket of space for Andres Aldeguer. Challenged by Aaron Vasquez, who wins the ball for Stallion momentarily, but he's been called for a foul.
Aldeguer up against Vasquez. That's also going to be a good and crucial battle tonight. Who can get the better over the other? By the way, I'm just remembering that Patrick Ling also played for One Taguig quite recently, so that's another player playing against his former side. But again, a set piece now to One Taguig, and it's going to be Mark Hartman. You cannot give One Taguig too many set pieces because Hartman will punish you.
Good short one for Reichelt. Couldn't take a shot though, as Abe Placito was alert to the possibility. And now a counterattack rising for Stallion Laguna, but commentators curse as Aaron Vasquez sends that out for a throw.
Clever from Hartman. Chemistry with Reichelt is so high because of the amount of games they've played together, whether for the Philippines or other clubs. And they nearly connected there for a goal-scoring chance. Reichelt with a high boot there, but it's going to be a tough test now for Baji and Ken Pride.
Got a high boot from Patrick Reichelt. Challenge on Stallion Laguna's number 5, Isa Gaku, who is pleading his case for a yellow card, but nothing given by the referee.
Isa Gaku, by the way, what another signing. He is really tall, really physical, but an excellent passer of the ball. And there's another example.
Good pass. It's Placito with a shot, but sends that way out for a goal kick.
I think Coach Ernie and Coach Neil will be happy though with the way Stallion have started. They've penetrated their opposition's half on multiple occasions now, and yeah, Isa Gaku, such a difficult defensive midfielder to play against because of his passing range. You saw there, nothing was on, and all of a sudden he just bullets it through to A. Placito, and it's a shooting opportunity from one pass alone.
First quarter of this match has already gone past us, Diego, and we're still feeling each other out. Again, this is the first time that Stallion Laguna and One Taguig FC have faced each other, though this is already tagged as their second round fixture. Hartman Placito winning the ball for Stallion Laguna FC. Looking for his teammates, unable to find the next best option. Isagaku now. Finding Dorado. Good pass. Back they go to Ken Pride. Isagaku, poor touch from the defender. Now Reichel brings it back. Aguiemang with the long ball forward, looking for Stefan Schrock. Good first touch against Baji. Still with Schrock. Looking for that through ball for Reichel. On the right side they go. Reichel putting Isagaku down on the ground. We're back up right away. Hartman covered well by Placito. Now he couldn't pull that trigger. Good pressure from Placito on that opportunity from Hartman.
See Hartman for a second there was lining up a shot. If you let Hartman shoot from that type of range, he's gonna test your goalkeeper. But good defending nonetheless from Stallion. They haven't committed to a challenge in the penalty box. Very dangerous with the trickery of the One Taguig players.
Oh. Again, the tricks are there. Aguiemang and Reichel trying to rely on the back heel. That time it's not working. Forosuelo heads it away for Stephen Schrock. Try to send it forward, but everybody in the attacking phase was offside.
Switch of positions now between Aldeguer and Reichelt. Aldeguer from right wing is now central, and Reichelt just peeling off to that right wing position for now. Just trying to ask different questions of this Stallion backline. They're trying to be unpredictable, and that's always a sign of a good attack when they don't have only one way of attacking.
You also have Aguiemang who's shaping up to move forward as well for One Taguig in that attacking phase. Meanwhile, Stallion Laguna FC on that right side, Patrick Ling sends a long ball forward, a shot or a pass. We will have to guess because that's going out for a goal kick.
It's a shame that Stallion couldn't take advantage of that situation. By the way, A. Placito, he's listed as a midfielder, but whenever he has the chance, he is crashing the penalty box of One Taguig, and that's obviously because he fancies his height in that penalty area. He's actually trying to attach himself to Pete Forosuelo, because I think if you put that in an aerial duel, A. Placito will fancy that physical and aerial 50-50 duel. But again, another tactical trend that we've seen so far. However, it's still the figuring out stage. So far, you can see neither side able to really take full control just yet.
Vasquez with the throw for Stallion, but the referee Chris Magnañola will just have to calm things down between Mahmoud Ali and Dorado on this left side, as they're getting quite physical with each other. We now have the throw in for Aaron Vasquez and Stallion Laguna. Patrick Ling brings it down for Vasquez. Placito with a one touch for Dorado, who goes down. Foul committed by Aldeguer.
Good touch from Dorado. Helped his team win a set piece. Clever acceleration, and Aldeguer just committed another free kick opportunity for Stallion. But I was checking my stats here. I was actually seeing that if you look at it aerially, One Taguig are the strongest team in the PFL because they've scored the most goals from outright headers. And that means that they're such a difficult team to beat in terms of attacking and defending set pieces. Nevertheless, though, Stallion are a really tall team, and they have a chance here. The delivery from Galiana has to be good.
Will the winds of change go to the side of Stallion Laguna FC in that aerial battle, as we have a free kick at hand for Galiana, who's looking up? Plenty of options inside. You have Gaku, we have Baji, and Placito as well. But Kiki Reichelt was the first one for the ball. Cross from Belgira. Looking for Dorado on the far post. Galiana with a shot. High, wide, and not so handsome for the number 11.
That one nowhere near the goal line. So One Taguig survive yet another set piece. They've done really well from them so far. Stallion will continue to try and score from one. I'm sure they scored from one against Kaya in the dying moments of the game. So it is something that they do tend to capitalize on.
So goal kick for Milos Kupic. Two players in black getting that challenge in. Stefan Schrock on the left side using the scissors. Couldn't thread the needle towards his teammate Now Isagaku spreads it out wide for Dorado. Good fake. Sending Mahmoud Ali to the other side. Now they continue the play. Good turn from Vasquez. Dorado still with the ball. Looking for the cross. Nobody in the middle. That's good coverage from Ichiro Aoki. The play still with the side of Stallion Laguna FC.
Well, wherever Finn McDaniel is watching this game, I'm sure he's saying, I could have been on the end of that. Oh, physical tackle there from Dorado.
It's too strong of a challenge on Mahmoud Ali. Gets his yellow card here. Talking about Dorado. Hoping for the shoulder to shoulder there. Let's take a look at this one, Diego.
Excellent work from Dorado. Forzuelo commits and doesn't get to it. The cutback is right behind Placito. A split second earlier and Placito would have ran onto the end of that cross. And here's the physical tackle.
Arms extended. Too strong of a challenge. That brought Coach Ernie Nieras off his bench, pleading his case that I think that was just the first challenge of Dorado on Mahmoud Ali, but that already got a yellow card. So you would understand why Coach Ernie Nieras is complaining about it.
I'm also curious to see which goalkeeper has the better performance tonight. You have Yusuf Butt, 31 caps for Pakistan up against Milos Kupic, former Serbia U19 and the current Golden Glove favorite with 10 clean sheets and a 90.9% clean sheet ratio. Two of the top PFL goalkeepers here. And by the way, we have another foul here, so it's turning physical, Jamer, and no surprise given the physical nature of both sides.
It is what's expected in a clash between One Taguig FC and Stallion Laguna FC. They've been in this position before. They've faced each other 3 times, and both teams have won, both teams have lost, and they have drew once as well. So it's going to be a crucial battle and a physical one as well, given that Stallion Laguna FC would like to climb up that standings and challenge for that title.
If you're One Taguig, you have to be careful not to allow the likes of Baji, Gaku, and Ling to have too much time on the ball, because they're really good players on the ball and they can find a pass out of nowhere.
There's one Baji unable to turn, but got a touch from Omaiso, so that's going to be a throw-in for Stallion Laguna FC. Aaron Vasquez looking for Galeana, but that's overcooked. Or Agiemang rather. Pressured by 2 black shirts. And Isagaku wins it for Stallion Laguna FC. Quichi Belgira on the turn. Looking for the number 4 Macmillan on the right side. Covered by Aoki. Now, Stefan Schrock wins the ball for One Taguig FC. Long ball forward looking for Patrick Reichel. That was close, but he's offside.
That was really close, because what Reichelt does is he starts that run in his own half and he curls it just about. So I thought for a split second he was onside. And by the way, Reichelt, he's just trying to peel off and be unnoticed every time One Taguig regain possession of the ball. And he's just there for the counterattack. He's always ready.
Mark Hardman sending a ball forward for Agiemang. Aldeguer with the through ball for Reichel. First real challenge for Yusuf Butt, and they call it a penalty.
Well, I was talking about it 1 minute ago. Reichelt is always ready for the counterattack, ready for the transition at all times. It's a lucky bounce to Aldeguer, but the pass to Reichelt is so perfect. Reichelt knows he's going to get there before Yusuf. But by the way, those 2 players faced off before when it was Philippines versus Pakistan in the 2013 Peace Cup. But they're facing off once again here because Reichelt is going to take the penalty.
If you put that penalty shout onto the other side of the field, that's Philippines versus Tajikistan all over again. This time, it's Philippines against Pakistan. One more time for Patrick Reichelt and Yusuf Butt. We've talked about Yusuf Butt having quite a performance against Kaya FC Iloilo. Conceded the penalty on Julius Mir back in that game.
Yeah, and he got his hand to it as well, so it was a close penalty. Let's see if he goes the right way or if Reichelt saw that and is going to go the other way. A lot of mind games happening between the two at the moment.
Reichelt, no stranger to the penalty shot. He shapes up now to take this against Yusuf Butt. Reichelt shapes up and hits the bottom frame of the goal and gets the first goal of the match for One Taguig FC. Clinical nonetheless for Patrick Reichelt.
Excellent penalty from Patrick Reichelt. Yusuf but guesses the right way and he still doesn't save it. That's how you know it was perfectly placed from Patrick Reichelt, who makes the first stamp on this game. But he won the penalty and he converts it, so he gets all the credit for this one. But though, we'll feel that he got ever so close to this one.
Hitting the inside of that left post and gets the first goal for One Taguig FC. Questions now being asked by Coach Ernie Lleras on his wards.
Yeah, when that penalty went in, the first thing Coach Ernie did was call everyone back to his side. By the way, I'm not too sure if this is an allotted water break or if it's just improvisation from Stallion, and there's going to be a yellow card here.
Yellow card on Ernie Lleras, who's pleading his case. That's a double yellow and he gets a red card. And he's calling off the boys of the field as well. What just happened here? Coach Ernie Lleras got a yellow card for excessive complaining, then gets another yellow, and he got the sending off. It's not yet over, Diego.
Trying to listen in on what conversations are happening, but Coach Ernie is definitely not happy. And you said it, Jamer, he's calling his team. I'm really curious what's going to happen here, but I'm not too sure if this is exactly what the fans want to see.
The message is clear, Diego. Coach Ernie Lleras wants his boys to fight because he's out of the game. He's the head coach, yes, but we've been getting most of the calls, or the tactical calls on the bench from Coach Monty. But the thing here is that he's that pivotal guy on the bench for Stallion Laguna FC, and he get red carded for complaining on that penalty shout.
Yeah, and his last instructions, I'm not too sure if we can actually repeat it on air, but if you heard it, oh, by the way, we apologize for any explicit language if you did hear it, but the message is clear. He wants his team to fight for the rest of this match, and they need to fight if they're going to claw themselves back into this match.
So a lot has happened in the span of 5 minutes, Diego. One Taguig FC, through Patrick Reichelt, scored the opening goal of the match, sending Yusuf Butt the right way, but unable to get a touch to it. And then Coach Ernie Lleras got 2 yellow cards right away and has been sent off for the rest of the game. If that doesn't tell you the story that we're going to have for the rest of the night, Diego, I don't know what is.
It's heating up, and both teams are going to be emotional. But Stallion can't let themselves be dragged into an emotional fight. It's only a 1-0 scoreline. They're still in this game. It's still completely on. And there's still a lot of time for Stallion to get back into this game. By the way, that's another yellow card right away, and it's to Aldeguer.
Aldeguer with the yellow card in the challenge earlier on. So a lot of players, or actually almost the entire bench of Stallion Laguna, going to the locker room hoping to calm things down for Coach Ernie Lleras, as we see Aaron Vasquez going down on the challenge from Aldeguer. Back to competitive action on the field. Stallion Laguna FC with Macmillan on the right side. Cuichi Belgira brought down by Schrock. Foul called on the number 17. Free kick opportunity right now for Stallion Laguna FC. And you're not seeing this, folks. Diego, you might not see this as well, but the bench has been cleared on the side of Stallion Laguna FC. or so we thought, as Coach Mountney is back, as well as the rest of the substitutes. Might just had to calm things down for Coach Ernie Nieras, who's been sent out of the playing field for that 2 yellow cards, which has been the result, which resulted to a red card.
They have a chance here though, another set piece. Again, they scored one against Kaya, so they can do something here.
Aliana with the free kick. Headed away. Forosuelo clears it out. An opportunity for Stallion Laguna to take that goal back. If they feel that they didn't deserve that penalty shout, they would have to work hard for that goal, as Galeana's moving forward against Aoki. Cleared out by Stephen Hom, only as far as Macmillan. Koichi Belgira couldn't get a first touch, neither the second, but the ball is up in the air. Shock with a bicycle clearance. Isagaku in the middle against Hartman. Through Hartman. Forosuelo with the coverage and Hom with the clearance. Reichel. Now Stallion Laguna with the ball once again. Long ball forward looking for Belgira on the right. Placito to Galeana. Galeana on the turn through ball for Koichi Belgira, and that's been converted by Dorado. We are back on level terms, Diego, here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium.
And it's an excellent team goal from Stallion Laguna FC. They don't have an outright striker, but they combine so well in the final third. Galeana peeling off from his number 9 position. Belgira, who's usually a fullback, in a winger's position. Excellent cutback to Dorado, and Dorado is not going to miss from there. And for only the 3rd time this season, One Taguig concede a goal. Their defense has been the very best in the Philippines this season, but they concede here. And I'll tell you what, this game, it's only 30 minutes done. This could be a potential firecracker, Jamer.
Coach Ernie Nieras wants his team to fight, and fight they did. They got that equalizer. We are back on level terms as Kiki Reichel goes down. No foul called. Isagaku pass to Placito. Back to Gaku they go. Omaiso with another challenge, and it's a foul against Omaiso. Nervy moment there is on Memorial Stadium as both sides really getting physical on each other.
And they are getting really physical with each other, but at the moment the momentum is with Stallion. You can see they now have a spring in their step. They didn't need any more motivation after the red card to Coach Ernie, but you can see they're up for this. They didn't allow themselves to sink after conceding. And by the way, Galeana's doing excellent as that striker, but playing more as a false 9 rather than an out-and-out target man.
That's the idea. Vasquez with the cross, but headed away by Stephen Helm. Now counterattack for Agemang and One Taguig FC. He's past 1, couldn't get past 2, sent flying, but no foul, says the referee. Ball goes back to the side of Baji and Stallion Laguna, who's now on the counterattack themselves. Belgira on the right side, who started that sequence of play that led to the goal. Now they send the ball out as a fair play for Agemang.
It's heating up, Jamer. You can feel the animosity on the pitch at the moment from the stands. Every tackle, every challenge, every 50-50 is being contested like it's the last of the game.
Are we watching a top of the table clash out here, Diego? We're checking the either sides of the championship table as Agemang was sandwiched between Isagaku and Ken Pride there. He was sent flying. He's now back up. Patrick Reichel, the team captain, of course, trying to plead their case for that foul, but Chris Magnañola won't give anything.
I think what Stallion can take pride in for this match so far is that they haven't allowed One Taguig to settle into the rhythm that we've seen from them so many times this season. You know, they beat Aguilas 3-0, they beat Cebu 2-1, beat Kaya twice, but Stallion are giving them a real good go, and that's credit to them even after going behind really early on. even without Finn McDaniel at the same time.
Two figures missing for Stallion Laguna out here. One on the bench and one up front. Good pass though from Baji as he found Belgira on the right side. Placito to Belgira. Miscommunication with Macmillan, and Schrock will take advantage of it. Good pass forward for Reichelt once again against Usman Baji on the counter attack. Reichelt with a shot on goal, and it goes out for a corner as a last touch on Stallion Laguna.
Reichelt is running back the years. He still has that turn of pace and turn of acceleration about him. You could see he's so smart and connected with Stefan Schrock. All Schrock needs to do is look up once and he can play him in. Reichelt did better this time not to get called offside. I could see he just curved his run at the last second to make sure he was onside, and he gets his team out the pitch. And whenever Mark Hartman takes a set piece, it is a set piece that is going to be dangerous because of his delivery. 14 assists this season from Mark Hartman, a resurgence playing against his former side as well.
Mark Hartman with the delivery for this corner. Reichelt missed the header. Dorado heads it away only as far as Reichelt. Placito is there to cover for Stallion Laguna FC. And Galeana's up front, but he's alone. Omaiso with the challenge. Wrestling for the ball is So and Galeana. Dorado joins the party, but a foul is called on Stallion.
Naging Royal Rumble for a few seconds. Jamer, I couldn't see what happened, but the referee has called a foul. Again, that's more evidence of how physical and how heated this game is getting.
It's really proving to be that main event of this Wednesday doubleheader. Again, many implications in the championship table right now for One Taguig and Stallion Laguna. One Taguig moving forward. Aoki getting out of that left back role and moving forward. Aldeguer free on the right. Looking for that pass. Hartman with a cross. Another shot. Aldeguer missed that golden opportunity to give them that go-ahead goal.
Aldeguer, he's not going to get a better opportunity than this one right here this evening to get his goal. Excellent team play from One Taguig. It's Hartman this time who makes the long busting run forward. Reichelt well tracked by his defender, but Aldeguer, at the very least, you should hit the target from there and at least test the goalkeeper because it's from such close range.
Omaiso wins the ball for One Taguig. Reichelt now on the counter attack. 3 players on 4. Overlap for Aldeguer, takes a shot. Yusuf Butt saves them this time. If he's missed that opportunity earlier, he got this one on target, but Yusuf Butt was alert to it.
A real dipping shot there from Aldeguer. I'm not too sure if it took a deflection or not. It was a good save nonetheless from Yusuf Butt, who is now starting the distribution from his team. Actually watched a few clips of him when he was playing in Scandinavia. Excellent distributor of the ball. Really good passing range on him as well, despite the fact that he is a goalkeeper.
Things are getting testy here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, and we are just 7 minutes away from halftime. Patrick Reichelt scored the opener in the 25th or 26th minute through the penalty. Coach Ernie Nieras was sent off for excessive complaining. Ricky Belgira caught by the offside flag in that sequence. But 32nd minute means equalizer for Dorado. And as it stands, we're at 1-1.
And a big part of that equalizing goal, which is still happening in open play at the same time. Galeana, he's listed as the starting striker for Stallion, but what he's actually doing is he's joining the midfield. He's dropping really deep, and it's just giving questions to Stephen Halm and to Forrest Weller. Will you follow me to midfield? Because if you do follow him, then you're light at the back. If you don't follow him, then you're light in midfield. So Galeana is asking different questions that One Taguig don't usually face, and he's doing really well this evening.
He's doing pretty well in that false 9 position that he's on right now, Galeana. Stephen Halm, though, recovers for One Taguig. Isagaku goes down. Foul called on Agiemang. Asking for a card on Agiemang there, but nothing's been given by Chris Martignola, who's had quite a game so far with that whistle.
Another good play there from Gaku. He's so good at just keeping the ball and forcing a foul if nothing else is on.
Baji to Patrick Ling. Omaiso with a good challenge. Patrick Reichel on the turn but falls to the ground while doing so, but keeps his balance and gets the ball back. Reichel takes it back, brought down by Isagaku. That's a strong challenge because I heard Reichel screaming in pain after that one.
Reichel, not the type of player to stay down. Very, very feisty player, very brave. He's usually on the end of these challenges. Here was that challenge.
Oh, that was a challenge from the back. Lucky for Gaku not to get a card there. Medyo mainit na yung mata ni Chris Mark sa mga challenges ngayon. And he's lucky enough not to be carded on that sequence.
Looks like Hartman's gonna go very direct. By the way, from all the way here in the commentary booth, Jamer, I can hear Yusuf Butt. And very good communication from the Pakistan veteran.
Mark Hartman was looking for Stefan Schrock on the left side, but Macmillan will head it out for a throw-in. Maraming interesado sa game na to. I can see two coaches already who's in attendance for this game. Placito sending the ball forward for Galeana. Omaiso goes down. Play continues for Stephen Holm, who clears the ball out for a throw-in.
Just saw which coaches you were talking about, Jamer. Former national team experience. You even have coaches who have coached internationally in club football as well, sitting in front of us here tonight.
While Omaiso is getting some treatment from Stephen Holm there, let's take a look at what happened. So Omaiso has been brought down by Galeana, who's rushing for the ball. No foul called though.
Speaking of Sooma, though, he's the player from Taguig naman with the most minutes at 1,069. Usually starts all games in midfield. But I think One Taguig will want to have him more involved in this match.
Placito getting the ball away from One Taguig. Quichi Belgira on the right side once again. Back to Placito. Macmillan on the right side. Fakes the cross. Takes it. But gets a deflection for a corner. Chance for Stallion Laguna to get that one-up over One Taguig FC in this set piece.
And it would be a really good time to get a goal if you're Stallion Laguna FC, or if you're One Taguig trying to set up on the counter. Reichel there with the captain's armband, leading with communication, but it's going to be defensive work for One Taguig. Again, so many set pieces already, Stallion. Let's see if they can take advantage of one.
So Galeana with this corner, an outswinger once again, looking for Baji. Almost an opportunity for Stallion. Galeana with a cross, blocked by Hartman. Long ball forward by Aoki. Clearance from the defender as Aaron Vasquez sets up the play for Stallion Laguna FC. Just a minute remaining in the first half, and of course some stoppage time due to that commotion earlier on. Macmillan with a cross, but goes straight to Milos Kupic. Aldeguer, the recipient of that pass from the back. Placito couldn't recover for Stallion, but there is a touch though from Aguiemang. It's going to be a throw-in for Stallion Laguna.
Again, Baji, such a positive passer. He always passes forwards.
Bodies flying everywhere as Patrick Ling collided with Aguiemang. Galeana brings it down for Ling. Pass to the right side for Macmillan. Advantage, says the referee. We're in the 2 minutes of stoppage time now. For Asuelo heads it out. Macmillan controls the ball and takes it back to Ken Pride. 2 minutes to get that go-ahead goal or to keep things level between One Taguig FC and Stallion Laguna. Aaron Vasquez moving forward, finds Placito. Dorado on the left side, threading the needle forward, takes a shot, but Milos Kupic says no entry. Chance for One Taguig to get their counterattack on, but Usman Baji will get that ball from Raichel. Strong figure in Usman Baji to keep Patrick Raichel behind him and not get that ball away from him. Another pass from Ken Pride, looking for Dorado on the left side. Gets the first touch, making Mahmoud Ali dance and jump. Vasquez looks up, sends the cross in for Belgira with the header. Stephen Haum will clean up for One Taguig FC. Could be the final chance for One Taguig if they could get it running, but they won't, as Usman Baji gets the ball for Stallion. Now Steven Schrock moving forward, gets past one. Patrick Ling is in the way. Still with Schrock, gets past two. Pass to the middle for Aldeguer, takes a shot. Oh! Deflected in for a goal. What a time to score that go-ahead goal for Andres Aldeguer and One Taguig FC.
Huge slice of luck in this one. It takes a nasty deflection that beats Yusuf, but they will take it though because they've been under so much pressure in this match. They'll take anything. Aldeguer hits it with a lot of power. It's Gaku who is the unlucky figure, but great work from Stefan Schrock. You know, Stefan Schrock, he picks the ball up at the halfway line and he's entered the penalty box, makes the cutback. A lot of credit for that goal down to Stefan Schrock. And look at the time, such an ideal minute to get your go-ahead goal for the second time in this match.
Yusuf Butt has been penetrated twice in this game. And One Taguig FC has that 2-1 margin over Stallion Laguna FC. Last passage of play here. Dorado on the left side. Can he get that equalizer? No. And that's going to be it for the first 45 minutes. It's been physical, nervy, and testy. But One Taguig FC keeping a 2-1 advantage thanks to that late goal from Andres Aldeguer in the 45th +2 minute in this game. We'll go into a break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, stats, highlights, and analysis of the match between One Taguig FC and Stallion Laguna FC. It's been an eventful first half here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium, ladies and gentlemen, and so far so good for One Taguig FC, who got that 2-1 lead over Stallion Laguna FC. Jamer De La Cruz on call once again with Diego Cordero right here in this game, and what a match we've had so far, Diego.
Yeah, this match, before it started, it promised intensity, it promised quality, and we've seen it in abundance tonight. At the moment, One Taguig in the ascendancy, but there's nothing about this game and scoreline that is finished just yet. So heated, so emotional, and still 45 minutes where I'm sure there's going to be a lot more chaos, Jamer.
After this penalty from Patrick Reichel came the chaos, came along with it. Coach Ernie Nieras was given 2 yellow cards, a marching orders for the head coach of Stallion Laguna FC, and since then we've seen Stallion Laguna FC fight their hearts out for their sent-off coach. They were able to get that equalizer from Dorado on the open play, but Aldeguer getting that go-ahead goal at the dying moments of the first half.
And you know, what might frustrate Stallion so much more is they should have at least gotten to halftime on level terms. In the end, it was a wicked deflection, really, that gave One Taguig back the lead. But again, both teams have performed well, so I wouldn't be surprised if the scoreline is still going to be changed one way or the other in the second half. You can see how even it is on stats, possession, almost even, shots, almost even on target as well. But yeah, you know, Stallion, they're in this game, they're still in this game. There's nothing about them that says that this game is done.
Well, plenty of action to talk about that first half, but looking on the stats so far, they've been inseparable since that opening whistle from Chris Magdanyola. We've had plenty of calls, we have plenty of cards, we have 2 yellow cards on the side of Stallion Laguna FC. Either of them coming from or going to a player, both of them going to Coach Ernie Nieras, who's now watching this game in the dugout for sure. But as things stand, One Taguig FC will keep their advantage at the top. Stallion Laguna FC dreaded to have went to the halftime at a 2-1 scoreline. However, we still have 45 minutes left to play. A lot of action to watch out for. And we are in for quite a battle here between Stallion Laguna FC and One Taguig.
And because of how much implications this match has on both the title race, the top 6 battle, you can see that there are eyeballs from everywhere. I've spotted the coaching staff of Aguilas. I'm sure the coaching staff of Manila Digger, although they're in Indonesia right now, they're watching this. Cebu will be watching this because, again, you know, whatever result happens here tonight, it's going to have a ripple effect across the whole league. That's how big it is. By the way, there's going to be a substitution, it looks like, from Stallion.
Looks like player number 84, Patrick Ling, is checking out for number 24, Denzel Vasquez. So the other half of the Vasquez brothers are coming in to this game. And mind you, Diego, whenever Denzel and Aaron are in the pitch for Stallion Laguna FC, great things happen for them. It's quite a combination for Coach Ernie Nieras, or should we say Coach Montney right now. He's been calling the shots since that red card, and we'll see how things will pan out for Stallion Laguna FC. Meanwhile, same personnel for One Taguig FC in this game. They haven't had any changes at halftime. So it's the same starting 11 that will kick things off in the second half of this amazing battle between One Taguig and Stallion Laguna.
Also keeping an eye out for any change in instructions. Certainly, that's what the sub of Ling and Vasquez was about.
So Denzel is in for Stallion. If not for that nasty deflection on Isagaku, we could have kicked off second half on level terms, but it's 2-1 in favor of One Taguig FC for the next salvo of this battle between One Taguig and Stallion. Aguiemang with the ball finds Mark Hartman, who sends it back to Forosuelo, trying to build the play from the back. Hartman brings the ball down. Couldn't get the pass through. Now moving forward is Stallion Laguna FC with a Placito. Good pass to Vasquez. Liliana goes down. Omaiso wins the challenge. Stefan Schrock covered by two players in black. Denzel got the touch to it. Kuichi Belgira to Placito. Placito shaping up. He doesn't have that left-footed strike, but Isagaku has it, but unable to get that on target. That's the first shot registered for Stallion Laguna in this second half.
Placito found himself in a good position. I think he's just not as confident on his left foot, his weaker foot, to take that strike from distance. But good combinations early on. Once again between Galiana, Placito, Belgira. You can just see Galiana is continuing that trend from the first half of being a false nine, forcing a center back to come with him. Although in that occasion, Stephen Halm with a good challenge on him.
Milos Kupic sends this long ball forward looking for Reichelt, but Baji is there to cover. Dorado now on the left side. He's exploited that side real well in the first half. Looking to do the same damage in the second. Dorado covered by two players now, Mahmoud Ali and Andres Aldeguer. But he still has possession of the ball. Isagaku brings it back to Baji. Now switches the play to Macmillan on the right. Back to the middle they go, intercepted by Omaiso, who is using his pace. Sending the ball out. Patrick Reichelt trying to get to it, but offside has been called. He's been well offside from that pass from Omaiso.
And you can just see when One Taguig are sitting in a defensive position, Reichelt is always ready for the counterattack, stationed at the half line, ready to pounce, ready to begin his sprint. By the way, what a pass once again from Baji. He's been showing that the whole match.
The range of Baji here, finding Dorado on the left side. Strong challenge though, as they win themselves a corner.
And again, the amount of corners that they've had, they will feel that law of averages. If we have so many corners, at least take advantage of one of them.
Galeana shaping up for this corner. He's been the designated corner taker for Stallion Laguna FC since the first half. He's on the other side now with an in-swinger. And for that far post for Placito, Milos Kupic gets to it. He's looking for that quick counter. Just unable to do so. Now Aoki on the left side. Gives it back to Hom. Sends it forward for Reichelt. He knew he's offside on that play.
Big test now for the defensive shape of One Taguig. Can they stop Stallion from getting into that rhythm that they did at points in the first half? Yusuf Butt, by the way, playing as a third center back, and that's why, because he has that range of passing.
Macmillan unable to get the pass to Belgira, but they win themselves a throw-in. By the looks of it, Placito playing from midfield, but becoming that tip of the spear for Coach Mountney. Stephen Alm hits it down for Schrock. Placito trying to win the ball against Schrock. But One Taguig FC wins themselves a throw-in.
Nothing looks like it's changed from the system of Stallion other than a like-for-like switch for Denzel Vasquez. But again, it's a system that did work at times in the first half. That's why there's no reason really to change it. Do wonder though if the game goes on in this state and it's still a 1-0 deficit, if there's going to be a more attacking sub later on. But still quite early in the second half, so there's still a lot of time really for Stallion to create something.
Stephen Alm goes down hard after that challenge from Galeana, but the play continues as Milos Kupic sends it out. Reichelt trying to wriggle his way past Macmillan. Goes down. No foul, says the referee. Yola feels that it's just a clean tackle from Macmillan.
The thing is with Reichelt, he's so good at you know, finding himself trapped on the pitch and still somehow winning a throw-in at least. Could have won a foul there also, but that's the type of player he is. He gets your team off the pitch.
Surgical pass from Stephen Schruck, finding Hartman but unable to hit it on target against Yusuf Butt. Now we restart with Usman Baji, who's been steady at the back for Stallion Laguna FC in the first 45 minutes. Macmillan on the right side, good pass from Denzel. Aoki clears it out away from Koichi Belgira.
It looks like it's going to be a long throw from Macmillan. Again, he has Placito as his target. Placito gluing himself to Stephen Hom to try and win this flick on.
There's the delivery for Placito, but Stephen Hom is there to cover Macmillan against Reichelt. Reichelt wins it from Ken Pride. Hartman, good pass from Reichelt. Now onto the right side for Aldeguer. Things are opening up for One Taguig, but Aaron Vasquez closed that door shut with that interception. Placito with a through ball for Dorado. Goes down. Play continues for One Taguig. Aldeguer dispossessed by Isagaku. Sending it forward for Galeana but unable to connect. Aguiemang, bodies flying everywhere. Moving forward is Aguiemang.
Oh.
It's past Macmillan. Still with Aguiemang here. Ken Pride with the coverage. Good through ball, but Reichelt is offside. Aguiemang even going on the ground, trying to find Reichelt on the other side there.
Yeah, don't let Aguiemang's height and physicality fool you. Once he gets going, it's near impossible to stop him. Great acceleration, great technical ability to dribble past 3 or 4 players. He's been a match winner as well so many times this season. Got that goal against Kaya. Such a good addition to this Taguig side, who are ambitious. They want this they want this title. They want to be the representatives in international football. And so far this season, they are proving that. However, Aguiemang might have actually hurt himself in that last bit of play.
Let's see that sequence of play here from Aguiemang. Even on the way down, still finding that pass. Unfortunately, though, Reichelt was offside.
Aguiemang is quite gingerly walking off, so this is not encouraging if you're One Taguig, who have sent out Diego Asperas to warm up. Goldeson Casimiro is also warming up. 2 like-for-like changes. Incredible depth that you have Asperas and Goldeson Casimiro warming up.
Not to mention, you still have Kurt Dizon, who's also a creative player himself, on the bench for One Taguig FC. Again, they're spoiled for choices here. You even haven't mentioned Naoto Hiraishi on the bench. So that's the depth that we're looking at in terms of One Taguig FC. Meanwhile, with Stallion Laguna, they're trying to move forward with Denzel Vasquez, putting Omaiso on the deck. Now Placito back to Aaron, or Denzel rather. Now that's Aaron Vasquez on the left side. Dorado to Placito. Back to Dorado they go. Offside flag is up though for Stallion Laguna.
Yeah, the pass back wasn't on from Placito. Should have taken it himself and generated maybe a shot or another pass, but Dorado was offside because of the run that he carried into. However, you can just see whenever they get in and around the penalty box of One Taguig, they have enough bodies there to generate a chance. Placito's up there, Dorado, Galeana. Very, very good system that's in place here. All that is missing really is the goal.
55 minutes into this game, One Taguig FC still with a 2-1 margin over One Taguig, or One Taguig rather, with a 2-1 margin over Stallion Laguna FC. That's how close this game has been. Galeana goes down, but was able to get the pass through for Belgira, who's taking on Aoki.
Excellent again from Galeana, dropping deep as that false 9. This time Holm doesn't able to catch him.
Galeana receives it. Placito on the turn. Pass to Dorado. Oh, great coverage from Mahmoud Ali, who finally beat his number there. They've been going at it since the first half, Dorado and Mahmoud Ali. And a foul called on Dorado.
just one touch too many from Dorado in that last play. Could have taken a shot earlier on. Placito as well received the ball in the penalty box. They're getting touches in the opposition penalty box here. It's just a matter now of that composure and that clinical and killer edge to generate a shot that could test Milos Kupic. Again, they've already beaten him in this match. So you know that you can score against One Taguig.
So far, the only breakthrough from Stallion Laguna FC is from Dorado. On the other side, both strikers in Aldeguer and Reichelt getting into the score sheet for One Taguig FC. Plenty of watchable eyes as well on this game. If you're a KFC Iloilo fan, if you've seen him inside the Rizal Memorial Stadium, you'd be happy because Colin Curtis is in. But make no mistake, he's not in for another job though, as he was able to clarify earlier on. He's just here supporting his friend in Marcus Haber.
Yeah, they work together at Bangkok FC, I believe it is. Haber, by the way, is also an option now off the bench if Reichelt starts to maybe feel a little bit leggy in the second half because he's ran a lot of miles already.
That's right. Oh, Hartman, great touch. Looking for the cross, but Macmillan is there to cover. Long ball forward, looking for Galeana. Kupic.
Oh.
That sweeper keeper role is working well for Kupic as he clears the ball out. Dangerous pass though for Galeana.
Kupic was way off his line, but great sweeper keeper. Manuel Neuer-esque there from the Serbian who, again, he's winning that Golden Glove race. No clean sheet tonight, but by far the most clean sheets in the entire league.
Richie Belgira exchanging passes with Denzel Vasquez, but has been dispossessed by Mark Hartman. Got a deflection though for a throw-in. You've mentioned Manuel Neuer. I've seen another German in the building. Former Philippine men's national football team head coach Michael Weiss is watching this action between One Taguig and Stallion Laguna FC. Yun yung mga nami-miss out nyo pag hindi kayo nanonood dito sa RMS. Mga personality na nakikita natin dito.
Weiss, who was the coach for, I'm sure, many of the Philippine football fans' first game here in Rizal. He was the coach when I first got into football here in that original Ascal's era.
Might have faced Yusuf Butt as well in that.
That's right.
Was the head coach for the Philippine Ascals during that time. Memory lane talaga with these personalities. Meanwhile, back to action we go as Isagaku goes down. Foul committed by Aguiemang. Now the card's gonna come out. That's one foul too many for Aguiemang.
Kurt Dizon, by the way, has been recalled to the bench. So it looks like his introduction is imminent.
Mentioned Kurt Dizon earlier on, one of the other providers on that squad. One of the flashiest dribblers as well in their side, who might just make his appearance in this game against Stallion Laguna FC. He's been no stranger to encounters against Stallion Laguna before. He's had a fair share of battle against Stallion when he was with KFC Iloilo and even with Loyola back in the days. And a long ball forward, Placito with a header. Kupic recovers for One Taguig.
Difficult chance there for Placito. He's going backwards, has to generate so much power in a strange angle. So he gets it on target, but power not there, and it's an easy save for Kupic.
Ichi Belgira with the 1-2 pass for Isagaku.
Hello.
Liana! Again, what a touch, or what a save from Milos Kupic.
This time, Galeana does get on the end of a cross, but Kupic alert, awake, and he makes a really good save here. Point blank range. Galeana will feel though that he should have scored from there.
Here's the corner from Dorado towards the back post. Belgira thought about it. Baji covered by two white shirts. Oh, great turn. Still with Baji. Now dispossessed. Penalty shout from Stallion, but not gonna get it. Vasquez with the coverage. Now against Aldeguer. Play continues as Denzel wins the ball. Dorado switching to the right flank. Vasquez continues the play. Dorado with the ball, covered by two players in white, and One Taguig FC wins the ball from Dorado. Agiemang moving forward, but a foul has been called on the challenge on Stefan Schrock.
Also just seen that Marcus Haber has been called back to the bench.
So couple of substitutions impending for One Taguig FC here with the Haber and Kurt Dizon being called to the bench after warming up. Steven Schrock though still taking his time and getting back up.
Commentators curse once again today, Jamer, because none of the names we're mentioning are the substitute that's about to come on for One Taguig.
Look at that. Goldson Casemiro is coming on for player number 9, Andres Aldeguer. Coach Arvin Soliman has fooled everybody, including us, Diego.
That's right, but Aldeguer at the moment stands to be the match winner of this game with that goal right before halftime. I must say though, Goldson Casemiro, he's a player that he probably feels as well should have started this match because of the quality that he's already shown this season. He's going to slot into that right winger slot. And yet again, another tricky player to deal with for Stallion.
The size and the pace of Goldson will come into play if they want to exploit that right side that's being covered by Aaron Vasquez and Ken Pride as well.
Another tactical tweak, switch of Belguera and Dorado. Belguera back to his more familiar left-hand side, but still as a winger. And Dorado now down the right, so different questions to be asked of Aoki and Ali.
So Kupic with a free kick, sends the ball forward for Reichelt, headed out by Baji. Macmillan on the right, looks up, sends the ball forward. Trying to find Galeana, who gets the ball after a mistake from Pete Forzuelo. Goes down on the challenge of Mahmoud Ali, but the play continues. Macmillan heads it out. Agiemang against Gaku. Battle of the tall personnel from both sides, and Agiemang wins the free kick.
Stallion contingent in the stadium are livid with that non-call on Galeana because it was a good opening for Galeana. He was not quite through on goal, but he was running into some space, however unable to generate anything other than that moment. Game entering a vulnerable state now. We're in that time period of the match where both teams will start to get a little bit more anxious.
Baji heading out. The shot once again from Agiemang, not making it on target. Still, both sides having difficulties in finding the back of the net here in the second half. We're going into the 65th minute, and Koichi Belguera with the ball for Stallion Laguna momentarily as it goes out for a throw. Looks like the physios of One Taguig FC is being called into the field because Agiemang is feeling something in his legs.
Yeah, he went down earlier on tonight as well. And that's also going to allow the chance for Stallion to make a change. It's going to be... Is that Mbene? We'd love your confirmation.
That's the substitution. Dorado, the goal scorer, is checking out for Ebene Mokuta.
That's right.
Stallion Laguna FC's version of Adama Traore.
Substitution for Stallion.
He's had a decent game for West Ham against Brentford.
By the way, the penalty shootout in that game, I've never seen a better performance.
Very happy, woke up to that news. We're still alive in the FA Cup.
By the way, Agiemang is limping off. I don't think he's going to be able to continue. And Marcus Haber has been recalled back to the bench after he was recalled earlier. He's taken off his bib now, so I'm 99% sure that Marcus Haber is coming on.
So that's quite concerning to see Aguiemang limping towards the bench, but a worthy substitution nonetheless if Marcus Haber is coming in for him.
Yeah, so many caps for Canada. Played across Europe, played across Southeast Asia in top clubs.
Now the substitute Mokota is moving forward for Stallion. Good through ball from Galeana, but just not connecting well with the Benny Mokota. Now on the counter attack, Aoki from the left back, moving forward. Slaloming past two players in black. And that's a duty foul on the number 26, Ken Pride, who gets a yellow card for his actions.
Aoki picks up the ball in the left back position, and all of a sudden he's running past 3 or 4 Stallion players. Excellent trickery, so light on his feet, body feints, fooling everyone, including Ken Pride, who's gonna take the duty foul. But what a piece of individual magic there to bring your team up the pitch. By the way, the trend of Galeana as the striker, it looks like it's over for this evening, and Benny Mokota is now going to be that number 9, still dropping off like a false 9, but he brings more of a physical presence against Forzuelo and Stephen Halm.
Don't look now, One Taguig fans, as Marcus Haber might just get his introductions in this offing, as well as Kurt Dizon, just confirming who's going to be subbed out. One thing's for sure, Aguiemang's night is done because of that injury that he's concerned about. But we'll have to wait as a free kick is on for Mark Hartman and One Taguig. Stefan Schrock on the left side, but sent it out for a goal kick. Here we go with the confirmation of the substitutions for One Taguig FC. You have Ichiro Aoki, who had a decent run on the left side, will be replaced now by Kurt Dizon. And you'll have Marcus Haber coming in for Aguiemang.
By the way, it looks like Kurt Dizon, who's usually a winger, is going to play as the team's left back in a back 4. That's a lot of defensive responsibility on his shoulders. He's going to be up against Galeana, so that's going to be a really busy 20 minutes or so for Kurt Dizon. He's going to have his first test here.
Galeana receives the ball. And Goldson wins the ball for One Taguig. Kurt Dizon with his first touches of the ball. Good coverage. Then Vasquez to clear it out for a throw. Kurt Dizon slots into that left back position, but expect that he'll be used more of a wing back for Coach Arvin Soliman's side. Goldson. Now Placito against Dizon. Benny Mokota unable to keep that in play, so it'll be a throw-in for Stallion Laguna.
It looks like a strike partnership now also between Haber and Reichelt. Haber is going to pin himself to Ken Pride because he's going to fancy himself in that height challenge. Such a tall player to deal with.
Now Haber on the turn, but just unable to get a touch of the ball. Baji sends it back to Yusuf Butt. Hasn't been tested quite a while in the second half. Ken Pride unable to connect with the pass, but McMillan with the throw-in for Stallion Laguna.
Looks like I stand corrected because when they don't have the ball, Reichelt will slot into a more right winger position, and he'll also be asked, I'm sure, to track back and watch. I think that's Aaron Vasquez who's advancing from left back.
Speaking of advancing, Usman Baji moving forward for Stallion. Long ball forward. Stephen Halm with the clearance, and Omai Saw with a cleanup. McMillan to Placito. Back to McMillan they go. Deflection from Goldson. Throw in. Quickly taken by Galeana to Placito with a cross. Nobody on the left side. Vasquez gets the ball. Turns on Reichelt. Another turn to the middle. Nobody there for Stallion. And it's counter-attack time for Stephen Schrock and One Taguig FC. Kurt Dizon on the left. Playing with Vasquez. Stephen Schrock with the pass. Moving forward for Hartman. Now interception. Counter-attack 3-on-3. Marcus Haber is offside. But almost a goal-scoring opportunity for the substitute.
Stallion have to be careful. They're chasing this game. They're chasing a goal, but they can't allow themselves just to be too open at the back, leaving too much space for the likes of Haber, Schrock, Reichelt, Goldison to penetrate them. Game management so vital now for both teams.
71st minute of action. Quichi Belgira on the left side, looking for Aaron Vasquez. Fakes, pass, leaves it for Denzel. Takes a shot, blocked by the defense, and cleaned up by Patrick Reichelt.
Anywhere will do for One Taguig at the moment. Heavy pressure from Stallion. Can they take advantage of it? Because it's a different story altogether if you're able to score from the type of pressure you're applying on One Taguig at the moment.
Denzel looking for the through ball for Abene Makota. But Milos Kupic is alert to the possibility and goes down and gets the ball. Kupic taking his time, thinking of the next move, and sends it forward, looking for Marcus Haber. Steven Schrock gets to it. Vasquez stops. Sends it forward now for Yusuf Butt.
You can see what the addition of Marcus Haber brings. So since Taguig are under so much pressure now, they now have that option just to punt it long towards their target man who will fight for those aerials.
Goldson unable to find a teammate up front. Now Stallion slowly moving up. Beat for Asuelo with the coverage. Through ball for Marcus Haber. Isagaku is there to cover. Haber goes down, but Isagaku continues. Now Quichi Belgira finds Abene Makota. Looking for the next pass is Makota towards the right side for Macmillan. Goldson, great defense here from the number 18. Still keeping the play on. Goes down, no foul says the referee, and even the fourth official says get back up. Placito to the middle for Makota with a shot. Isn't out wide the left post.
Excellent play here from the number 45 who hugs Stephen Hom. But he beat Stephen Hom in that scenario. Such a clever take and first touch. We'll see it here on the replay. The pass is fizzled into him. The Cruyff turn is so smart. The shot slightly off target, but that was a promising moment for the substitute. Could have been 2-2. Just a few inches off.
Close, but not close enough for Abene Makota in that sequence. Milos Kupic will be happy that that shot went off target.
You can just see though, all it takes is one chance for this game scoreline to change completely. I do have to say that the introduction of Abene Makota has been good. Looks like a real live wire to deal with for Stephen Hom and for Pete Forzuelo.
We're coming into the final 15 minutes of this action between One Taguig FC and Stallion Laguna FC, and so far it hasn't been as eventful as it was in the first half, although both sides have been finding that chance real well. Kurt Dizon on the left side for One Taguig, now being covered by Galeana. Long ball forward, headed out. Stefan Schrock giving chase, but Placito wins the ball for Stallion. Moving forward now is Galeana. Pass to Makota, but that is already going out. So a throw in favor of One Taguig.
Also looks like Hoatham is going to come on for Stallion. They're rolling the dice now, throwing the kitchen sink. They need to throw everything at this scoreline in the remaining minutes of this match. Because they're in this game. There's something in this game for them. They already equalized once. It's definitely in the cards.
Can Stallion Laguna FC play championship spoiler once more in the personnel at the top of the table? Dizon heads it back, but a foul committed by Galeana. So here's going to be the substitutes for Stallion Laguna FC. You have Christian Ivanovsky as well as Zamorano Hoatham. They'll be checking in for Galiana. So that's Ivanovsky, a like-for-like substitution for Ivanovsky and Galiana. Then you have Isa Gaku checking out for Zamorano Hoatham.
Stallion throwing the kitchen sink now. All-out attack. Abe Placito is gonna drop back to that defensive midfield spot. And it's a winger on for a defensive midfielder. Hoatham actually will take that right wing spot, and Ivanovsky, it looks like he's gonna play as a number 10 position, as is the number on the back of his shirt. So very attacking lineup now for Stallion.
Every point is important for Stallion Laguna FC in this phase of the competition. They're 5 points adrift of Maharlika FC. They're looking to keep their spot at the championship rounds of your Philippines Football League. Zamorano with a clash on Dizon. Now throw in for Stallion. Macmillan, strong challenge from Stefan Schrock. Referee not seeing any malice on it. Macmillan sends it back to Ken Pride. Baji to the left side for Aaron Vasquez. Aaron fakes, moves it to Denzel. Ivanovsky on the ball, long ball forward looking for Zamorano on the right side. He's taking on Dizon with a fake. A through pass not going through. They won't get that chance again as they'll have a goal kick.
Time running out now for Stallion. They need to be more clinical. They need to have that incisive edge about them. The players are there for them to do something. Meanwhile, for One Taguig, they've been in this situation so many times this season that it's almost become clockwork for them. You know, they beat Kaya 1-0 twice. They beat Maharlika 1-0 twice as well. So they can win big games with fine margins. It's something that they can do, and I will say it now, that's something champions should be able to do.
And in their way, Stallion Laguna hoping to get that counter-attack. Ivanovsky gets the ball for Placito. Couldn't turn, Omaeso, and Placito goes down, and Placito is the culprit. Free kick in favor of One Taguig. Crucial moments now with 12 minutes remaining in this game, plus stoppage time.
One Taguig. Every time you give them a set piece, Mark Hartman is gonna take the invitation to go long. Again, they now have that target in Marcus Haber, who's the favorite really against Ken Pride for any aerial challenge. Ken Pride is an excellent defender, but when you look at him side by side with Marcus Haber, there's a heavy favorite there.
Goldson. Macmillan is there to head it out for another throw. Getting closer and closer now for One Taguig in scoring territory. Goldson against two players in white. Play continues. Zamorano Hoatham sends it forward, looking for Ebene Makota. Pete Forasuelo wise to head it out and clear the ball away for a throw. But referee says foul on Ebene Makota. I've lost count of the fouls that we have here. Earlier I saw 10 for One Taguig, 9 for Stallion. Now I'm not sure how many because this game has been very physical. We see that challenge from Ebene Makota on Pete Forasuelo. That adds to the foul count. Yusuf Butt looking for his teammates to help him out. Now Stallion Laguna FC moving forward with Koichi Belgira on the left side. Good tackle from Mahmoud Ali to prevent any chance on goal for Stallion. Throw in though. Taken quickly. Ivanovsky through to Koichi Belgira. Back down they go to Aaron Vasquez, to Denzel. Belgira once again on the left side, covered by Mahmoud. And Benny Mokota with a shot, blocked by Stephen Om.
That shot was traveling, Jamer.
Placito to the middle for Ivanovsky, who missed the pass, and Goldson with the clearance. Aaron Vasquez controls the ball. 9 minutes to get that elusive equalizer. They got one in the first half. Can they do it here in the dying moments of the game? Omaiso with the interception. Usman Baji gets the ball for Stallion Laguna FC. He's now moving forward against 4 white shirts. Zamorano goes down. Chris Marcnagnola says goal kick.
One Taguig staying firm, staying compact, like they have done so many times this season. Again, the best defense in the entire Filipino Football League for a reason. Only 3 goals conceded, one of those coming tonight. The other one came on the second match day against Cebu. And then the match day after against Manila Diggers. So this is a team actually that haven't conceded a goal since that September-October period. And it's now March, Jamer. That's how good they've been defensively. But Stallion have asked questions of them.
Placito brings it down to Usman Baji. Stallion Laguna still looking for that equalizer. Ivanovsky sends it out for a throw-in. This is the thing I love about the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex. We have the Ninoy Aquino Stadium next to us, which currently caters to the PBA, and some of the spectators from the PBA are watching.
That's right.
The Philippines Football League for free.
That's right, Jamer. That's right. So if there are any PBA, PFL fans out there, which I'm sure there are, might as well take advantage of the locations of each game. So by the way, on the other side naman kanina, merong UAP baseball sa Rizal Memorial Baseball Complex. So if there's any basketball, baseball, football fans out there, which I'm sure there are in the Philippines, might as well take advantage of it here.
But now, Stallion Laguna couldn't take advantage of the chance they were given as One Taguig FC gets the ball back. Marcus Haber on the counter-attack. Ken Pride gets the ball away. Macmillan looking up, trying to find the next open man. Placito to Ivanovsky, back heel to Ebene Mokota. Through ball for Ivanovsky. Trickery from the number 10. Denzel to the middle for Ivanovsky with a shot. Blocked by Forosuelo. And on for a corner. But that means an offing for Stallion Laguna FC. And they have a substitute coming on. Another attacking-minded player in Ricky Sendra coming on for the number 95, Usman Baji.
Well, he's played well defensively, Usman Baji, but they need a goal now. So they need as much attacking talent on the pitch as possible. They do lose an aerial set-piece target though, so that's why there might be some confusion right now.
Ivanovsky in the corner. Last touch, Macmillan, so it's going to be a goal kick for One Taguig. They have 6 minutes left on the clock to keep this 2-1 margin, or better yet, get a goal for an insurance.
Placito is going to drop back to that familiar center-back role. However, I'm not too sure if they're going to send forward more players now if it's a change in formation, because at the moment it also looks like back 3 for Stallion. Confirm that in a bit.
Looks like Stallion is throwing everything in attack now. Desperation times need desperate measures. They're going at it. Foul on Mark Hartman. He was sandwiched between Mokota, I believe, and Sendra.
Game management at the moment is being won by One Taguig, Jamer, because they're just running down the clock so smartly. And again, they have so many tools at their disposal for them to do just that. One of them being Haber, who they're going to go long for here.
They have to watch out because during crunch time, that's where Stallion Laguna suddenly comes back up. Ricky Sendra goes down on a foul by Stephen Schruck, who was called for a yellow card. And again, like what we mentioned, Diego, Stallion Laguna FC is known to come back from the grave at many times in the Philippines Football League. Can they do it here with 5 minutes in this game against One Taguig FC?
It's the same time that they scored against Kaya, so it's definitely in their locker. Although it was Baji that did that and he's no longer on the pitch.
Zamorano Hoatham faking it. Pete Forasuelo, great tackle, well timed from the number 99 to prevent a goal scoring opportunity. Ricky Sendra with the ball for Stallion. Finds Zamorano on the left, looking for the cross, short, Reichelt with the block. Omaiso pressuring Ricky Sendra. Ken Pride to the right side. Macmillan with the cross, looking for Mokota. But a touch too heavy for the number 45, and Milos Kupic will milk that clock.
Well, I'm sure many will be pointing it out, but you know, having the tip of the spear in Finn McDaniel could have helped them tonight with that natural striker for the whole 90. I think they missed him, really. They missed having someone on the end of their chances who's a natural finisher.
With that red card comes a mountain to climb for Stallion. Counter-attack for Stefan Schrock and One Taguig. Pass to Goldson, headed out, but that is going to be offside. So restart of play for Stallion Laguna. Less than 3 minutes remaining in this game, plus stoppage. Ivanovsky on the left, threading the needle to the middle. Finds Macmillan on the right side with the cross. Too strong of a cross. He finds no one in that sequence, and that's out for a throw.
You know, there are players rushing the 6-yard box. Keep this low. Give them a chance to stick their leg out and poke it towards goal. You don't need to go so hard with this one because, again, just put it into a dangerous area because you have numbers in that box. You know, get a lucky bounce, get a deflection, but just put it into an area that causes trouble for One Taguig.
Played that sequence in his head quite a few times, Macmillan, but overcooked it the moment that he needs to get that pass. So free kick once again for One Taguig. They have 90 seconds remaining in this game. We'll have to check as well how many minutes are going to be added on towards the end. And if we get plenty, that's going to be a real challenge for One Taguig to hold off this rampaging Stallion Laguna FC side who wants to equalize badly in this game.
And you know, their kryptonite this whole season, Stallion, was conceding late on. And it's funny how football works. They're having to be on the other side of that for this match.
Macmillan finds Ricky Sendra in the middle. They restart with Denzel, who goes down, and free kick taken quickly. Sendra to Macmillan on the right. Mokota against Stephen Hom. Keeps it in play. No, they won't, as it already rolled out for a goal kick. Even from this side, you can see that it's a goal kick for One Taguig.
Frustrations boiling over now for Stallion. They will feel hard done by, especially because of the manner of that Aldeguer goal right before halftime. Wicked deflection. After equalizing already, so Stallion already clawed themselves back to this game. But One Taguig, they just know how to get the better of these teams. They know how to manage the game well, even if it's not pretty at times. Champions don't always play pretty football, and they are the mathematically best positioned team, especially if they get this result through the door.
4 minutes of added time, ladies and gentlemen. 4 minutes of non-stop action between One Taguig FC and Stallion Laguna FC. That's been the way since the start of the game. Are we in for a cinematic finish between these two sides? Placito gets the ball from that throw-in. Ken Pride keeps it in play. Sendra sliding down. Haber on the counter attack. 3 against 3. Reichelt on the right side. A chance to put this game to bed and out. Schrock with the ball. Takes his time with the ball. Dancing away from Belgira. Good pass to Reichelt. Through to Haber. He goes out for a goal kick. Yusuf Butt asking for it right away to send this ball forward. Reichelt thought he was about to get some medical attention there, but goes back up right away. Belgira to Zamorano. Now finding Ebere Mokota. Goes down, Pete Forosuelo. Think that's going to be a foul at the edge of the box. Yes, it will be a foul at the edge of the box, Diego.
Nervous moment for One Taguig. This is a free kick in a very dangerous position. Yusuf Butt is asking if he should go up for this one, because all bodies from Stallion are going to flood the 6-yard box, and Yusuf Butt is going to stay in his halfway line for now. But all bodies now, in terms of outfield players in an attacking position. Stallion, this is it. It's now or never for them.
2 minutes left to play. A free kick in favor of Christian Ivanovsky and Stallion Laguna FC. Will this be the equalizer? No is the answer as Denzel headed out. But there is a deflection, says the referee. So we'll have a corner.
Yusuf Butt is asking again, should I go up for this? By the way, Chamber, at first glance, it did look like Ken Pride who hit that ball. Yusuf Butt is up the pitch. He's been told by Coach Neil to join the chaos.
This is it. 90 seconds separating. 3 points in a draw for One Taguig. That's out. Vasquez. Straight to Mahmoud Ali. Stefan Schrock got the bounce. Still with Stefan Schrock. He can turn and take a shoot.
It's offside.
Offside for Mark Hartman. Chance for One Taguig to milk this clock even more through the substitutions of Ryan Lim and Diego Aspiras.
Reichelt has been going down so many times already. He is absolutely running on empty. He opened the scoring, and he's put absolutely everything on this match.
That's also going to be the signal for him to go off the pitch, as Diego Aspiras is coming on for him. And Ryan Lim is checking in for Mark Hartman. Expect about a minute or two more added with this stoppage.
Wonder if Yusuf Butt is also thinking about joining the attacking line for this one, but I don't think they'll take that risk.
Didn't go well for them in the corner sequence. They almost conceded that third goal of the match, or that third goal for One Taguig.
What a position One Taguig would be in if they get all 3 points. You know, mathematically the best placed team in the table, and then you add to the fact that they just beat a really good Stallion side. Their next game, I will check now, but to be honest, does it really matter who their next game is? Because at the moment, they will feel like they could beat absolutely everyone. Their next game is against Valenzuela PB Mendrola. That's a game you'd favor them in. So they have a chance now to make a real run, crunch time now in the PFL.
If this game ends as a win for One Taguig FC, they'll be 5 points clear off of Dynamic Herb Cebu FC and the defending champions Kaya FC Iloilo, who will square off in the weekend.
Number 20, Mark Hartman, is replaced by player number 41, Diego Aspiras.
Aspiras on, Ryan Lim on, Hartman off, as well as Reichelt. Could be the last passage of play here. Vasquez with the long ball forward. Kupic gathers. Foul committed by Ken Pride. Kupic goes down though.
Brave goalkeeping from Milos Kupic. Goes out, aggressively claims that pass. And yeah, you know, you can see so many signs of why this defense is so hard to penetrate, because Milos Kupic, the core of that defense, is such a hard goalkeeper to beat. Then you add to that Steven Ham, Forzuelo, been good tonight. Different test for them. They passed that test just about. And yeah, it's going to be back to the drawing board for Stallion when they could have got so much more.
We're well past 4 minutes of stoppage time here. Milos Kupic sends it out. Stallion Laguna rushing to get this throw in play.
Foul throw.
Foul throw. It's been well away from where the play stopped. Are my ears fooling me, or am I really hearing Coach Ernie Nieras, who re-emerged from the dugout and watching this game from the tunnel? Dizon. Goldson.
Oh.
Chance. Yusuf Butt gets to it. Sends it forward. This could be it. Any second now. Chris Magnañola will blow that whistle. Yusuf Butt still able to send it forward for Ebene Mokota. Ivanovsky on the turn. Sending it forward for Ricky Sendra. Beating the offside flag. Sendra down that left-hand side. Bilgira intercepted by Stefan Schrock. And that is it. One Taguig FC remains undefeated in 2026 and extends their lead at the top of the standings by 5 points after this 2-1 win over Stallion Laguna FC. Diego.
Championship favorites at the point. And yeah, what a position to be in for One Taguig. Another crucial 3 points against a huge rival. Stallion, to be fair to them, put in a really good effort, but in the end it wasn't enough. One Taguig now. Can anyone stop them, Jamer? That's the question that will be asked across the league.
It felt like fireworks coming off for One Taguig FC. But that's 2-1 in favor of One Taguig, still undefeated in 2026 and extends their margin at the top by 5 points. Meanwhile, Stallion Laguna FC, 5 points adrift of Maharlika FC in the championship round. This has been a great match to cover, ladies and gentlemen, and we hope you enjoyed every minute of it. From everybody here, the broadcast panel, we would like to thank you all for catching this game between One Taguig FC and Stallion Laguna FC. So long and good night. We are PFL.
Taker.
Shrocky, congratulations on the man of the match. Tough game, but you guys got the 3 points. What did you think about your team today?
Big respect for my teammates, for the club, for the management, and for the coaches. We work really hard, and we have to go through a lot of things in the past weeks. And what the boys are made of, what character are made of. They showed it today.
Playing against your former club today, does it make it even more special for this win?
No, not at all. I left the Stallions in good terms, and I wish them well for the rest of the season.
And last, do you have any message to the fans of One Taguig?
Yeah, keep supporting. We are close to fulfill our dream and our mission, and keep supporting. Thank you.